What's up? Yep, it's me making a video. Posted I guess it's the fourth video on the channel yesterday, and I said I was going to post a video tonight. So here I am. My window's open. It's very windy outside, so. Let me see if there's water getting in. We're good. There's no water. It is raining though. Yeah, I have no direction for this video. I think that's the next thing. The next evolution of making videos is probably having, I don't know about a script, but having a plan. Having a plan for what the video is going to be, what it's going to be about, what I'm going to be talking about, so that way I can have a little bit more of a cohesive, because the first thing, it's going crazy out there, the first thing that I want to learn, that I want to showcase, and I want to kind of like impart what I learned about to you guys, is going to be making and editing these videos and stuff like that. So I'm really just trying to create a consistent habit of posting videos. If I could do that every day, that would be great. But I think I'm going to first set the goal of, let's say twice a week. I was going to say like 3 or 4 times a week, but I think twice a week, I think that's good. Do a Monday video, do a Friday video. Now, obviously, I've done, yesterday I posted one, but we're going to start probably with Monday and Friday. They're going to have a lot more structure going forward. So, I don't know. This feels like some OG YouTube shit where you just made videos and you just kind of posted like whatever you had going on, It's kind of crazy to see how YouTube has changed to become what it is now, where just like with Instagram, Instagram used to just be like, hey, you just post a picture of some leaves that you saw that were cool, or, hey, I went here and ate this food, and it wasn't like algorithms and hashtags and shit like that. I mean, it was just, obviously there was hashtags, but it wasn't that important. It was like, oh man, I gotta grow my account, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do promotions and stuff. It was just, it was just raw, But yeah, I touched on this a little bit in the video I posted last night, but I also don't know where to look. Should I be looking at myself? Should I look at the camera? It's pretty late. I am very tired. It is 12:30. I took this Alpha Lion Night Burn. It is a nighttime fat burner, which I don't put too much stock into fat burners, but I think if you're on a cut and you can afford it, if you can buy stuff like this and it really does not matter, I don't see why not, as long as it's at least dosed properly. But I like to think that it helps. I'm trying to cut down on some fat. That's another one of the goals. I'm actually losing fat with my corgi. He and I are losing weight right now. He's a little chunker guy, so that's pretty exciting. I think I'm going to start posting on Instagram about that. But yeah, I touched on this earlier, but to kind of continue my thought process from the previous video, when you are going through the self-improvement purgatory, which is, I think, what a lot of people get stuck in, that's where what I said in the last video is you either enter it because you've fallen off, because you've been hitting hard, you've been doing your good habits, whatever that may be, and then something happens. Usually it's an event, something kind of like upsets you. You start to feel bad, you start to feel sad about something. An event happens, right? Or there's just a holiday. Holiday happens, or an event, or you go somewhere, or whatever, you want a trip, and then it's easy to just say, oh, well, man, it's Christmas, I'm not going to worry about counting my calories. I'm on vacation, I'm not going to worry about journaling, or I'm, whatever. Right? You put that stuff away, which I do think is the incorrect way of thinking about those habits and self-improvement in general, because it's not about, your goal of self-improvement is not to create something that you, obviously you're going to have to force yourself to do this stuff sometimes. You don't always want to get up and go for a run. You don't always want to write down your thoughts and journal and meditate and all that kind of stuff. But what you want to do is forge the character that that enjoys I would say a good degree doing stuff like that. It's going wild out there. And even if you don't enjoy, even if you're like, man, I really don't necessarily enjoy running, you enjoy being the kind of person that does that. I don't care who you are, man. You feel good after a run. It's just so the whole point is that you want to not look at self improvement as like this rigid kind of thing of like, oh my god, it sucks. I hate it. All the time. So when I go on vacation, I get this reprieve from doing these positive things. Like, no, you should look at it as a beneficial thing that, you have the, when I say privilege, I don't mean it in the, you know what I mean? You have the privilege of looking at your life and saying, there's things I'd like to improve. You have the ability to improve your life, and it is enjoyable, even though it's sometimes an unenjoyable process. I hope that makes any sense. I'm still getting used to talking on camera and doing things like this, so bear with me. But back to the original topic. So you've fallen off. Something's happened, or it's whatever, it's a holiday, something like that. So you fall into that kind of depressive state. You feel, you've made all this progress, and then, oh shit, okay, we fell off. But here's the thing. You're still above where you started. You can't just look at it like, oh man, I've been doing great, and then you fell off. Even if as long as you don't fall off for like a long fucking time, you fell off. Now, okay, you get back up. I do a whole lot of stock trading. I love investing, and so it's important to look at it like a stock chart. Look at it like a chart. No stock just does this. Pretty much all stocks do not just go straight up. They don't just do whatever any stock dipshits out there are going to say. Well, actually, when there's just really short squeeze. Typically, you're going to see this, and you're going to see some some pullbacks. You're going to see some rises. You're going to see some pullbacks, and that's actually healthy growth. That's actually a lot more sustainable. It's a lot more healthy for that security, or for you as a person, than just So look at those as opportunities to recoup, rest, look at what happened. Why did you fall off? Why did this occur? And instead, I know it's hard to do, but instead of looking at it like, this sucks, I'm depressed, I'm sad, look at it as, okay, this is just a healthy correction. This is just a healthy pullback in the value of my life and of myself. I've just come down a little bit, but that's the perfect springboard for you to come back up further. As long as you are making overall general average progress upwards, you're doing fine. And this is something that I gotta remind myself a lot too. The second scenario of self-improvement purgatory is where you are doing really, really good, but because you have stopped, that wind's bugging me out, because you have stopped doing the shitty habits that were, that kind of high concentration pleasure habits. You're cranking your hog, you're playing video games, you're watching movies, you're doing whatever. You stop that, and you no longer have that. You no longer have that pleasure that you had before. You no longer have that. Those things feeding you and feeding your ego and feeding your desire to escape from the pain in your life, escape from the regrets, or the negative thoughts, or whatever. And you are forced to deal with the character that you have at the moment. You're forced to deal with the person that you are, which is difficult initially. And so it's confusing the most when that happens, because you're like, man, I'm doing great. Like I've done everything. It's been 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's been 2 months, whatever, of just doing great, man. I've just been kicking ass. I've been getting up early. I've been eating right, training hard, working on my craft, whatever it is. But I feel like shit. That is not a sign to stop, and that is not a sign that you're going in the wrong direction. That is a sign that you need to make sure that you give yourself some understanding. You give yourself a little bit of grace, and you realize that this is not a sign to turn back. That's just a sign that you're moving in the right direction. It's pretty. You can be pretty honest and clear with yourself, and know that know if you are falling off. Like if you've fallen off the wagon, you kind of know that based on just what you've been doing. But if you can look back and you're kicking ass and you're doing everything you need to do, but you're feeling depressed, 9 times out of 10, you're just in the clutches of your more animal desire for that escape from your psychological pain, or whatever kind of negative stuff's going on in your life, and the desire for that pleasure that that was stimulating you before. When you take that away, it's very difficult. It's very difficult for you on a subconscious level, I think. So it's just important to keep that in mind. Don't quit. Don't quit when things get hard. I know that's like the really basic advice, but don't quit when things get hard. Don't quit just because it seems like it's not working. I think I see that kind of often, and people are saying, man, I've done everything. I've been working out for months, and I've been eating right, and I've talked to girls, or I've gotten friends, or I've done whatever, and I still feel like shit. Sometimes all you gotta do is just keep going, man. If you've been doing it for 6 months, give it another 6 months. Because here's the thing, what's the worst case scenario? In 6 months, you're just in a better place, in all other aspects aside from mentally than you are right now. Okay, I'd rather be there than just be worse off everywhere else and worse off mentally. It doesn't really hurt to keep going. Now at that point, if you still feel like shit, you're still depressed, maybe go see somebody. Go try psychotherapy or talk therapy or something like that. I'm not a therapist, so I'm can't really a psychiatrist. I'm not gonna have a huge spiel about medication and all that kind of stuff like that. I got my opinions on it. Maybe I'll talk about that in the future. But point being, it's important to know yourself. It's important to know whether or not you need to seek something like that afterwards. So it's been a whole lot of rambling. I'm really happy that I made a video tonight. And guys, thanks so much for watching if you did. And if any of this resonates with you, give me a follow. I really want to build this channel, and I want to look back. My goal is to look back on these videos, 5-10 years from now, when I have achieved greatness. Might be 15, might be 20, might be 30 years from now. I know I'm going to. And I want to look back. I want these. I can see these videos getting like shared and posted, and when people talk about me or something like that. Because I want to do something. I want to do something of importance. I'd like to be somebody that affects the world in a positive way and is known for that. I think I could go on about this, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.